Hello, everyone. Welcome to Raw, Hard, and Real. I'm Hardmond, and I'm here today with Jordan and Stefano, the DJs that form Aria. Guys, how are you today?
Yeah, good.
Fine, thank you.
First of all, thank you very much for accepting this interview. Actually, you're my first English interview, so I hope that it goes well. I also want to say that you have one of my favorite hardstyle tracks of all time, which is Dystopia. It's really in my top 3 songs of all time. So I'm really happy to have you here. I will start with my first question, which is, how did you choose your artist name?
Actually, I know like a lot of the artists are like, yeah, we wanted something really meaningful and all that. It was really basic for us. Like our song is very like space based.
Okay.
Like we like all this nice atmosphere. So we just looked up planet names.
Okay.
We came across one that was called Aria with some numbers behind it. I was like, yeah, Aria sounds nice. Easy, simple, easy to remember.
Actually, I think that it's very important when you come up with a name, with an artist name, to have like a really easy to remember name, because it will stick. Like when you start trying to come up with a very long name, it doesn't stick in people's minds. So, and actually, I think it's a pretty cool name. Also because I love the Game of Thrones and Arya Stark.
Yeah, a lot of people come up with that thing whenever we started our duo.
And what drew you to hardstyle? Which artists inspired you? How did you come up making music?
Stefano, maybe go first.
For me, I was lulled into electronic music by my parents, you know.
Okay.
So I was born, and then when I grown, I start to listen to trance, hardcore, jump style, and then I searched some music, and I found the Prophecy from Deepak.
Okay.
It's like, oh, that sounds nice. And then I start to search other music like that, and then I found the Headhunters, Power of the Mind, and then everything started there, you know.
And how did you meet each other?
Oh, that's a long story.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a complex one because when I started producing, I like to make tutorials, like I still do now.
Okay.
But I think that's how Stefano came across my work, and he contacted me because I had like a downtime. I was studying at that time, and I just like failed the year, and my parents are like, you know what, no more computer for you. So I was just left with a very small computer. I was like, you know what, I cannot produce on that. I will just quit. And he just sent me a message together with his brother back in the days, saying like, yeah, you should not quit and stuff. And we become friends since that time, I think.
Okay. Yeah. How long ago was that?
It was in 2010, I think.
10 or 11.
Something
okay.
like that, yeah.
And you started producing since that time?
Yes. I was already producing for a while.
Yeah.
I started like in 2000 and I was 13 years old. When was I 13 years old? A long time ago. 17 years ago. 18 years ago. Holy shit.
Okay, nice. So you have been into production for a really long time.
Yeah. But like, you know how you start. Like it's really like playing around with samples and you're like, yeah, I just did my first beat. That's,
Yeah. And you, Stefano?
The same.
The same?
13 too. But yeah, the first music production program was on PlayStation 1, I think. Music 200. Yeah. So it's a long time ago.
And when was your first performance, like acting as a DJ?
For me, it was under Aria in 2018, I think.
It was 19, the first one we had. Yeah. And for me it was like probably 2013, I would say, like at a student party in Belgium, a known one in Belgium for the students, like where everybody drinks for the whole night for 24 hours in the street, and also are biking in the streets to like raise fund for something. I don't remember exactly what, but it was really fun.
I've seen some videos.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we should have some video because I think Stefano was there to support me at that first performance. So
nice. So you started playing first being a DJ and all that, right, Jordan?
Yeah.
Then Stefano like came. Well, you formed Aria together, and then on which places did you start to play? Like it was I don't know what parties, clubs.
The first one, it was like an indoor party, like
Okay.
by a French organizer. It was Outpulse, and it was with I think it was like Soundrush was the main guest, and we played there for the first time under Aria. Yes.
Okay, and since then, where have you been playing? Like, what has been your biggest show? Or because okay, I want to say something here.
Yeah.
When I knew you guys, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna track them and see when they are coming to Spain, because I don't know if you know, but there's like a huge party here in Madrid, like every month or so, that it's called 150. It's a hardstyle event, and a lot of artists are coming all the time. And I have never seen you here, and that makes me really, really sad. So, so I
That
want to
makes
know.
us sad too.
Yeah,
Just so
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because I have seen like, I don't know, most of the artists that I know like getting here, and I don't know, like, and I have seen that you're with Dirty Workz. Oh, and I also want to ask, like, how does that work when you sign with Dirty Workz? Like, what's the help that how do they help you? Like, I mean, I know that it's also by Spotify, maybe playlists, but how does that work exactly?
Yeah, I'll try to answer both
Both
kind of
questions.
at the same time. So yeah, we don't have much booking at the moment. We haven't had much booking since we started Aria because of COVID on one side, and
Yeah.
because also we still need to get to be known to the world, I would
Yeah.
say, because yeah, we're not that big of like of an act at the moment. We're still building our branding and all that. We're still trying to get out there. So we played 2 times in France at like Hardstyle, which is the first party we played at. We played the second time at that party. Also played once at how is it called, like music festival in France. It's like the 21st of July. It's a public holiday, and basically you have music in the street everywhere. So we played that there once. And I think we also played once at the Continent last year at the pool
Oh, nice.
party at the camping. It was pretty fun, and I think that's pretty much it. We also played like at some small parties with some friends and all that, but
Okay,
I
so
don't really consider that like actual bookings, I would say. And
Okay.
yeah, the reason why you do not see us in Spain is because we're trying to get out there. So if someone wants to take us for that event, we would be really glad to be part of it, obviously.
Okay, actually, yeah, I mean, I don't have like connections, but I interviewed 2 of the main DJs that work there, and
Yeah.
I will actually ask them to try to to contact you, because it would be awesome. And I mean, your music is actually really good. It's like top notch for me. So, I mean, I don't know if you maybe need to get more into bookings or something, because I do know that you could get like really, really big, because your music is really, really good. It's not like just some like some normal stuff. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will just thank you very much. I will just say something. Do you work with the guy at Dirty Workz or something? Because basically
Nope.
that's what they say. Like, your music is really good, but you need to get out there and get bookings. And they're like, we're trying, okay? No, actually we're trying, but what they say is we need to get a bit out of our own island, because we're kind of, I mean, I'm introverted. You cannot see that like
No.
through the screen, but I'm actually introverted when I'm in person. And Stefano is the same, I guess. So,
Okay.
if not worse. So whenever we are at a party, we're like, the 2 weird guys in a corner with a beer, just laughing.
Just drinking
and,
by themselves.
yeah.
Just talking to each
Basically,
other. That's
That's
it.
us. So it's kind of a work you're doing at the moment, trying to get out there and get to be known. And we also contacted some other artists to get our name out there a bit more, like to have some collabs with some artists we actually like. To
Yeah.
have maybe some remix for other artists that we like, and try to get our name out there and be more interesting for, let's say, organizers to book us. Because I'm pretty sure not many people actually know about our project. Like if we look at the people that follow the project, like outside of Spotify, because Spotify are like people listen to music, whatever comes into their playlist at some point.
That's how I met you guys.
So yeah, and some people just like let that thing roll in the background, so they do not pay much attention. And if you look at the numbers on our socials, yeah, not that many people know about us yet. So that's what we are trying to do, have that name out there a bit more.
Yeah, grow. Okay, and here maybe you can answer my other question. How does Dirty Workz help you in this scenario? Do they help you just by putting your music on playlists, or how does it work? Because I have never known about the labels. How do they work?
Stefano will correct me if I say something or if he wants to add something. Basically, I take the lead because I'm a bit more fluent than Stefano in English. That's why I take the lead on most of the questions. Just so you know, it's not that I'm speaking for... we just agreed on some of the key things we wanted to know and to say and stuff. But yeah, the label works like... I've been in 2 big labels, so I can compare. But basically, we are signed on a duration contract. So we have X year on the label, and at the moment you start with that thing, the label is supposed to guide you to the next step, if you see what I mean. Like, we are on Dirty Workz update. There is still Dirty Workz main label on top of that. And the point is to get us from update to the main label. And to do that, what they do is guide us, saying like, this is what is good about your project. This is what is not good with your project at the moment. So try to work in that direction to get to the next step in for your project, to get to the main label, basically. So they put out our music out there. They put it on the right playlist. They make all the put that on YouTube and all that, do all the publishing, obviously, like any label. But also, anytime we send something like a new music, they will say if it's good or not, obviously, also, if they want to release it. Mm-hmm. And also they often add a comment on overall the project, or if the music could have more potential, or if the music is something that we receive a lot as a comment is our music is too, how do they say that, too difficult, how they say it, we have good melodies and all that, but we do not have that catchy vocal that everybody remembers, or that sing-along track, or that melody that is very simple and all that. So that's the kind of stuff that they can also guide us with. We have our own sound, but they also can guide us and this is good, but if you want that thing to be more mainstream, you could go that way, because they have a lot of experience, way more experience than we have when it comes to how the music industry works. Basically, just
and how
producers.
Seems, yeah, exactly. Okay, so, wow, it's actually pretty interesting. I didn't know that they also were they would give you guidance in all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, it's pretty cool. And I think that what's good about you, it's your music. And what's bad about you, it's that you're not out there and I haven't never seen you play. That's just my comments. But
that's also what I think. Our music is good, but we're sad that we're not out there more.
And by the way, do you actually... work, do you have another job? You do something else, I guess, besides this project?
I'll let Stefano talk first, because I took too many.
For me, I work in logistics. I sell contact lenses.
Okay, so nothing that has to do with music industry.
No,
I mean, it's the same for me. I don't have anything to do with music industry. I just do this for fun and because I love hardstyle. But I actually work at a consultancy company, and I am a programmer, so a web developer. So whenever you're in need of one, Jordan. I'm here.
But you already have me, so that's what.
So you're not gonna need me.
No, I'm a full stack developer, but
oh, me too.
Yeah, full stack and specialized in geographic data. So
geographic data,
specific stuff.
Okay, and what languages do you code on? I mean, this has nothing to do on.
Yeah, but still, I code mainly in Java for the backend, and TypeScript and HTML, CSS for the front end.
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, using for the framework like Vue.js
Okay.
all the time.
Right now I'm
Using stuff.
working on Vue.js. So, but nice. Okay. Getting back onto hardstyle, or people are gonna hate me. What has been your favorite event to perform at? I mean, I know that there are not that many, but still, I would guess probably the continent, or it could be actually a pretty small party, because I have been told that maybe at some smaller parties, people are, I don't know, nicer.
Stefano, if you want to start maybe?
It was, what? Let me think. Take it, Jordan.
Yeah, or I'll take for mine. Like the continent was the nicest one in what it represents, I would say. And
Yep.
the second to that is probably the music festival on the 31st of June, because it's like a different vibe. You know, you're just in the street on a small stage, and you have people coming and going and stuff, like to see different stages and all that. And it was like it's summer, it's the nice vibe and all that. It was a really fun one.
That's what I wanted to say. The Paris Fest was the best one for me.
Okay. And what has been the best festival that you have ever been to, like as a guest? What's your favorite festival to go to, or your favorite event?
For me, it was the climax to 2011. Yeah.
Okay. I would really love to go to Climax.
Yeah. The show was so crazy. And noise controllers played for the first time E equals NC2, you know. And that was just whoa.
Nice.
No words to add.
Yeah. Myself, I'm not a big party goer, you know. I'm like more in a studio rat, I would say. But like the one I enjoy the most is very specific. It's a small one in Belgium that actually have some of the best lineups. It's called So Happy, and it's a very small one. Also, it's a like family-based one, I would say. Like you can come with your child as long as as your child is with you. Like starting from 12 years old, you can enter the festival.
Okay.
And the reason I really like this one is because the lineup is sick. It's not too crowded. It's not too expensive. And all of my siblings goes to, so we just like go to the festival together. So it's the best for me. But I've never been to like Climax, or I've never been to DEF CON or all of these big ones. So I cannot compare with the biggest ones, but
yeah. Wow, that's impressive. I wouldn't think that you have never been to like a big festival. I mean, mainly because it's right next to you.
yeah, I know a lot of people say that, but it's also like whenever I actually was willing to go, I didn't have the money for that kind of party. I was like a student. It was really hard to like pay for that kind of stuff. And after that, like with work and all that, things goes crazy.
It becomes more difficult.
And the prices also went up like crazy. So I'm like, $120 for just one night. Yeah, maybe I can do something better with that money. And also sometimes I'm not really into the names that are out there. Not that I hate this guy, but I'm like, if I want to go there should be like that one artist I absolutely want to go and see. But
okay, and talking about artists, then who are your favorite artists? Give me your top three, Stefano, and then you, Jordan. I mean, they can be 3 to 5. I would accept 5 if you want to.
Yeah, artists I will pretty much have the same because we like kind of the same stuff.
Okay.
Styles, noise controllers, and I will say Project One. No, sorry, Edenters too, but Project One.
And then it becomes Project One.
yeah. That's
basically you can take all of these.
Yeah.
And if I could add one name that is to me one of my favorite name, like since even before it started this project, Decharged.
Okay.
It's probably one of my all-time favorites. And yeah, as I said, even from before he started Decharge on the Scantrax and all that, I was already following what he was doing. And next to that, I would say probably Versatile at the moment is like...
Oh my God, yeah.
He
really,
found the perfect spot of what hardstyle is like. Soft and like nice melodies, but that kind of kick that just completely destroy everything.
Oh my God, yeah. I actually just saw him like 2 weeks ago here in Madrid in this event that I just told you. And it was funny because he was playing like at a small stage it was weird because everyone was actually complaining that he wasn't playing like at the main stage. Oh, on this place, it's like a club, but it has 5 stages or 6. I don't know. It's really huge. It's like, I don't know, more than 5,000 people can fit in there. So it's really huge. But he played like at a really small stage, but I actually enjoyed it more because it was early, it wasn't that crowded, and I know that if he was at the main stage, I wouldn't even be able to move. So, and I have seen him like 3 times this summer or 4, no, 3, because I saw him at DEF CON, at Decibel, and here at Fabric. And I think that the best one was this, just because it was smaller. And, you know, there wasn't like the fireworks or all that kind of stuff, but still sometimes like being on a small place makes the experience better, at least at this time for me. Yeah. And well, yeah, Bertile right now, I think it's one of the greatest hardstyle artists out there. Probably the best one at the moment.
Yeah, definitely the best one at the moment. Like when you see where he plays, how fast he grown also.
Yeah, it has been, I don't know, like 3 years maybe?
Yeah, since we actually start to know about him, 3 years since he started Vertile, but I've done some digging. I know what alias he had before and all that, but he's been there for longer, but it was not close to what he is doing right now. Like he has a full package, like singing on his own songs, like everything, outstanding.
Yeah, because he actually sings his own songs. That's something that I think that, well, not a lot of people know, but it's actually quite impressive. Yeah. And he sings really good. It's actually pretty cool. He has a really good project. So if he could do that in 3 years, you have 3 years to do the same. I know that you can do that.
Singing will have a problem because we have that very good old French accent, you know?
But there's autotune.
Yeah, but even with autotune, the accent will stay, you know? Since he started like being out there, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll take some singing lessons. And I was like, yeah, but wait, I still have that accent and it will not go away. So might as well just not sing. It's best for everyone.
And by the way, when you're creating a song, how do you come up with a song? How's your process?
Yeah, Stefano, maybe.
I let you say it.
Yeah,
because
we have kind of a process that is kind of always the same. So like every time we do not live like that close to each other. We live like an hour and a half away. So
okay, yeah, really far.
Basically, we like set up some main ideas, some basic ideas beforehand, and basically usually just like, you know, the break of the track, what the main the main ambience of the track will be, and then from there we start and we derive until we have like the fully finished song. So like start from the break, have the nice ambience, and then have all the melodies and all the other elements. And usually the breaks, we just like listen to a lot of different music, so we just get inspired by all the things we listen to, and also try to inject our own vision to what we do.
So besides hardstyle, do you listen to other genres? Like other kind of music?
Yeah. Basically, for myself, I listen to a bit of everything, but mainly synthwave. That's my go-to.
Okay.
Kind of synthwave, so it can be heard in our tracks. Basically, also it's like one of the inspiration we take most of the time.
And for me, I listen to almost anything. I'm very open-minded, you know. I listen to house, rock, hip-hop, lots of hip-hop US. This helped to have some inspiration, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have like another, that you're open to listening to other music. For me, for example, I still love metal music and rock music. That was like a biggest part of my life because I used to play at a metal band. I was like the singer, but you know, like the growls. I just growled like all the time. I had long hair. It was weird, but it was a really long time ago as well. It was like 18 years ago. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, and actually it's funny because for me, hardstyle is kind of like the metal, as metal is for rock. I think that hardstyle is for electronic music. Like, you know, it's the harder part of the genre. So I mean, but still, it's really good to have like another music taste and that you can combine on your songs.
That was the main idea. And I would say like the analogy metal and hardstyle is actually a good one because like you say, it's a harder part, but still it's not the hardest one.
Yeah.
Because it works for metal, and like you have still some stuff on top of metal that are like even harder than metal is actually, and same goes for hardstyle. It's like I never thought about that.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, hardstyle would be like probably the middle point, and then you go deeper, and you have up tempo, you have hardcore, you have like all these subgenres, and it's like with metal, you have then black metal, death metal, and it just goes like harder and harder. So I think that it kind of works the same, and you also get lost. Like right now with all the genders mixing, it's like I don't know what I'm even listening to at sometimes, but I just love it.
Yeah.
And what's the most challenging part of being a producer? What do you think is your biggest challenge each time that you're creating a song?
We do not have much, like, yeah, I would say something that is hard for us at the moment is trying to fit back into the scene. Because when you listen to Dystopia, it's not like it sounds outdated, but it does not sound like something that just came out today, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, and it was last year when you released that track, right? Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's changing like very fast, like really quick.
And we are also very, I would say, slow paced, but it's not like we're not working or we take a long time, but we have that process whenever we make music that we first create a first version of the track, and then we'll let it rest for like a month or two so that we forget about it. And we reset whenever we listen to it again to like fix all the things we need to fix. So we are slow, and then we have also all the label stuff to be going on. So the days, like I think Dystopia was released last year, but it was made like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always like kind of that thing. So we have a 2-year gap between what we do and what is like the trend.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is like maybe in 2 years when like, the Zach kick trend will be over, we'll come up with Zach kick, Just kidding. But the hardest part for us, like in the last, I would say nearly exactly for the last year that just, so since last October, we've been trying to like fit back into the scene with more modern sounds, see what they've been doing, what people have been doing. So like what kind of kicks are used, what kind of construction like of the track are being used, and how it works to like fit back into the scene and have something that sounds a bit more up to date, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's really hard, like keeping up, because it's changing really, really fast. Like even like half a year might seem like a really, really long time, because and even being at the festivals and like when you watch all the live sets, they keep changing the kicks, like all the edits everyone is making just to fit the new kicks that are like, like up to date. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, it's kind of weird. And I think that being a producer might be really hard right now. I
mean, it's a trend. So basically if you stick to like the root, it's always a good thing. Like, these are changing, but it's not like too changing. The kind of kicks that are mainly used like for climaxes and the base of the kicks are basically the same. It's just like the kind of spread. Sometimes you'll have like this Zag kick. It's just a trend at the moment.
Yes.
But it will eventually go like be outdated, and it will come back maybe like in 5 or 10 years. And like before that, we had like the gated kicks that came back and that we didn't hear since like 2010 maybe. And you have all these kind of trends that are rolling. So basically, if we just work on something now, it's maybe for in 10 years' time. But it's the hardest part is like, on top of that, it's more like if you want to be up to date every time, you need to be very like fast paced when you create a track, like in a matter of 2 or 3 months. You should have started the track and released it. So it's a very challenging part that we cannot really do at the moment anyway. So
yeah, but then you made me think a little bit, because even though I don't know if like all the mainstream artists are in a WhatsApp group or something thinking about what's going to be the next kick or something, because if you think about it, for example, then the latest release from Vertile and Sub-Zero project, Reignite, I think it's, or Reignite, I don't know. But they played that song at DEFCON 1, which was 4 months or 5 months ago. So it's funny because like they created this like kind of a long time ago, and they are just releasing it right now. So they might like know, or I don't know what the trend is going to be, or I don't know. How do you think that they create this so that they can release it like 6 months later?
Stefano, I don't know your input. I have a clear idea, but I want to see what Stefano thinks.
I don't know too. I don't really know.
My view on that is that Vertile can release whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Yeah.
It will be
So basically,
Everyone is following.
yeah, he's the trendsetter, you know?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
So basically, he can release whatever he wants. He's the trendsetter. So whatever he does, everybody will try to, I would not say copy. I would say maybe try to get inspired by that, like instantly. If it's not Vertile, it's Rebellion that came up with all these Zag kick trend. And it's just like these big names can do whatever they want. They will set the trend. Like new kicks came by like the way Vertile works with his kicks created a new trend. The way Rebellion works with their kick and the kind of track they do created a new trend and all that. So these big names, they're the trendsetters. So basically, they can do whatever they want.
And everyone will follow them.
Yeah, that will be the trend. So yeah, if at some point, I don't know, one of these big names, and it's not that it's always the same big names, like right now it's Vertile and Rebellion, maybe in 5 years time it will be someone else. But like they just come up with something that they think is cool. And I do not like to say it like that, but because of their name, people will think it's cool because they are big names, you know, kind of in a way. So people will follow that in a way.
Yeah.
Because they did that, it worked, so we'll do that and it might work also. It's kind of the way I see it. But I know it's not kind of pessimistic, say it like that, but actually it's not. It's more like...
No, but it happens. It actually happens. So yeah.
It's kind of the way it works. Like whenever a big artist, whatever the genre is, whenever a big artist come up with something, they'll have a lot of people following that and it will create a new trend and then it will just go away. And it's just the matter of like renewing, finding something new, on top of the game. But yeah.
And talking about like the latest releases, the latest artists that are like really big right now, which ones are your favorite songs? Like, let's say for this year.
Let me just quickly open my Spotify playlist to check which one are the one I enjoyed the most.
For me, I think it's
obviously
there are a lot of Warface there. Sorry.
No, not really. I do not listen to like all the big names. Every time Headhunters release something, it's part of my top 10 of that year most of the time.
Yeah.
But for two reasons. First, it's the only track he releases that year most of the time also. But for this year, actually the one I prefer so far are not that big from that big of names, but like there are some Vertile tracks. A version, I really like what the version is doing at the moment. But I do not like listen to a lot of the bigger names. Like Devin Wild.
Yes.
I like him. The Holy Ground. That track just got me like crazy for weeks and weeks. And beside that, it's like I would say smaller artists. Not that it's not like said in a bad way, but like at the moment I'm really digging Bright Vision.
Okay, I don't know him.
It's a guy from Silver, Scantrack Silver, I think.
Okay.
He's doing some really cool stuff at the moment, and
Okay, I need to listen to him. Okay, and you, Stefano?
For me, it's aversion.
Yeah. Activation.
Yeah, this one. Well,
for me, I mean, I think that Activation has been like probably the biggest song this year, but also Lost Without Me or Lost Without You. The song with Headhunters and Vertile, I don't remember, but that song for me, it's like amazing. It at least for me, it's the song that I have been playing the most probably in the last time. Like just on the release date, I listened to it at least 20 times. It was crazy. I love it.
It's not my favorite, neither from Vertile nor from Headhunters for some reason. It's a very good track. So I like
Heard that, yeah.
it's not like my favorite. Like I prefer Flame Inside from Headhunters, and I prefer like the remix of Guns for Hire by Vertile for some reason, because it's like rougher than what we actually do and stuff. But this track is like really good. So, but I'm really weird when it comes to like music taste.
No.
Because
Actually,
sometimes
a lot of a lot of my friends also didn't like that much this song, and not most, but I have heard about like some of them also like the Flame Inside a little bit more than Lost Without You. But for me, I don't know what it did, but just like the first time I listened to it, it triggered something, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it just happens sometimes with some songs that it's like, oh my god, this song is crazy. And also that has happened with a lot of songs from Warface for me this year. Like he's like probably in my number one right now. It's not always like I have like the first top artist for me. They always keep changing depending on the moment and the releases that they are releasing out there. And right now, I think that Warface is doing a really, really good job. I don't know if you like him, but for me, it's really good.
it's not that I like or do not like him. It's just like it's not
like
really
your
what I'm looking
type.
for in music.
Yeah,
I
same
can
for me.
recognize that what he does is good. It's working, and I know why it's working. And no problem. But it's not what I'm looking for in music. So
Okay. And now getting back to you guys, if let's say that there's someone that has never listened to your music, and you want to, to give them your top 3 songs, like the songs that you think that represent you the more, which songs they would be?
that's funny because you ask for 3, and I like to say that we have 3 main like paths we take when we make music. Either it's like space based, or it's synthwave based, or it's like more mystical. And
Okay.
so I will pick one of the 3 so that people have like the full panel.
You can pick 3.
I'll pick 3, but one in each path.
Oh, okay.
So I would say probably Last Sun for like everything that is space based. It's like a good entry point. I would say maybe Boulevard with together with Mercure for something nice and synthwave-ish. And for something mystical, I know it's not the right moment for that because it's not that time of the year yet, but will come soon. So maybe whenever that podcast is out, it will be nearly time. We made our vision of Silent Night, that Christmas song. It's a really mystical one. So go for this one. But that's for now. And maybe in a few days, a new, more mystical one will come out. Who knows?
Nice. Yeah, you told me that you're going back to the studio next weekend, maybe? Or
next weekend we'll be back in the studio.
Nice. And you said the 3 or 2?
I said 3. So Silent Night,
okay,
Boulevard, and Last Sun.
Okay, perfect. For you, Stefano, it's the same?
The same, yes. I will not say it better.
And do you have like any hardstyle friend, an artist that it's into hardstyle in the industry? Do you have friends?
Not really, and that's probably one of our biggest problems. Going back to the beginning of the interview, No, actually, the thing is, we do not like talk to that many guys outside of the people we've been together with in the industry that didn't make it, as far as we did, or that are not like that active anymore. Like their Brutality, which was kind of getting out there back in the days, is actually our manager at the moment. So we're still a very big friend with him. We have Exilium, which was also on Dirty Workz copyright free. Are big friends with him. But like the big names, actually do not talk to that much of these people. Like we talk a little bit with a lot of different artists, but not like, can't call them friends,
Yeah.
Or like we talk, but it's like we talk about music, and that's basically just like once every month or something. not much more than that.
Okay, so you need to get some friends out there in the hardstyle industry.
We're trying to, but we are awkward, so
I don't think so.
yeah, it's hard
you're
for
pretty
us to
cool.
go to people and not like feel awkward at least.
I think that you can change that. Or probably, if you try, I don't think that they will think that you both are weird. So
Yeah,
maybe you should just try a little bit harder.
I'm in contact with some people, but it's always like more, on more musical production, and like we're on the same label, and we just like give each other small tips, but that's basically it, or just react to each other's posts and that kind of stuff. But that's basically all the interaction we have so far. So, but we're working on it.
I have a question that it's kind of funny because I think I know the answer, so I'm going to change it a little bit. But I do think that you enjoy a lot producing music, right? So what do you enjoy the most? Like being on the studio or being out there playing?
Both. Just two situations different. But we like both.
Okay.
I might elaborate on that, but yeah.
Go.
Yeah. The thing is, when you're in the studio, you're like alone. You enjoy what you're doing, but as like, because we're passionate about making music. But then when you're out there playing, we enjoy it on a different level, more like what we did in the studio. That's what it brings to people. Like seeing the reaction of the people is like priceless, because you know that what you've done is good. Like having their reaction is something different, like the adrenaline it gives you, and all the like can have goosebumps sometimes when you play your tracks and you see people like sometimes singing the melodies and all that, get goosebumps when that happens. So it's different than when you're in the studio and you're just like enjoying making music, just like you're enjoying playing a video game or watching a series or that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's two completely different things, in my opinion. It's like hard to compare. But if you had to ask me so far, I would say music production on its own, like more than playing, but because that's where I'm most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of biased because I'm in the studio a lot of the time, and if I'm here, that's because I love it. And if we had maybe more like bookings and all that, maybe it would change. But I would still consider that like so different in what it like gives you as a feeling that it's hard to compare. Like it's comparing apples and pears,
And would you like to focus completely on music? I mean, do you see yourselves leaving your jobs and just being producers and artists?
Definitely.
Perfect.
That's kind of that's the goal. I mean, it's not the goal when you start, but when you reach that one of there is like some turn points, that milestone that you achieve through the years. At some point, the question is like, maybe the next step would be to live out of music purely and not have to go to your 9-to-5 jobs anymore and just go in the studio, make music, and then go play somewhere and then come back home and, DJ's live kind of stuff. That's the dream. But not there yet. But if it can happen, always like as soon as music make that much money, sure.
Yes. I mean, I think that the problem is always that since you're working, you don't have like enough time to do what you enjoy the most. In this case, is music, producing music and playing at gigs. So it's kind of like finding the lucky moment, so that maybe there's going to be a song, there's going to be something that triggers it, and then you're going to go big and start doing. I'm sure that that's going to happen for you. But I mean, I think that it's kind of hard when you are at a certain age where you cannot, or you are not rich, and you can't just like leave your work and start doing whatever you want.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people tell us. Like a lot of people we know like stop their job and focused 100% in music production and like living out of music. But the thing is, depending on what your background is, it's not always possible. Yes. And also, like, I have a job that is quite stable. I know that in 10 years' time, I will probably still be in that field and still have a nice salary and all that, you know?
Yes.
And it's kind of, do I want to gamble all that for music? Maybe I should. Maybe that's why we're not bigger. But to be fair, I still think out of all the free time I have, pretty much 90% of it is in the studio, working on tracks and working on music. So I'm not entirely sure that I would do much more than what I'm actually doing at the moment.
Now, and actually for you, for what I've seen, you're releasing a lot of tracks. When did you start it? On like releasing tracks? It was 2020, 2019?
2019 was the first one. And then since that, we've released, depending on the years that we had, like
in total,
average 5 tracks per year. I would say the first year we had a lot more.
Okay.
Because we had like, we came prepared for Dirty Workz. Like we had, I think, 5 tracks ready. 3 were already ongoing. So by the time the 5 first one were released, we already had 5 more to provide for the label. So we could like every month have 1 release.
Yeah.
But then the year after that, we only had like 3 or 4 tracks ready, and it took longer to get them out. And then the pace got slower a little bit because of we had to renew our sound, as I said a bit earlier, with to get a more modern sound and more up to date. So
but
we
still,
released a lot, but yeah.
You were releasing more songs than Headhunters, like 5 times more. So it's still good, a good amount.
Yeah, but the thing is, he did probably 1,000 more streams than we do with just that one song.
Yes, that's true.
So it does not have to release that much to get like some decent numbers.
Yeah, and to win like best song of the year and everything with one song, it's like wow. Yeah. I mean, it's funny actually how it works, but I'm pretty sure, really that with the amount of releases that you have right now, it can happen because it's actually pretty solid. I mean, it's not like a lot, but still, if you see, I don't know, maybe Satox or Sub-Zero Project, well, maybe not Sub-Zero Project, but maybe some bigger names that actually release a song every 2 months, and that's six songs a month, 6 songs a year. So it's actually not that much.
Yeah. Actually, it's, when you say it like that, it's indeed not that much.
Yeah. So you are actually quite on the average amount that any artist have released. So you just need to get out there. That would be again my advice for like the 10th time.
Why does everybody say that? I don't understand.
I will really try to see if you can get booked here.
Yeah,
for sure.
That would be cool, and we would be glad to come.
Oh, it would be amazing. But if you come, I will go with you, and you cannot hide in the corner and just talk to yours.
Okay.
We have a deal. Can we just shake hands like to the camera? Like, if you see 2 weird guys in the corner, that's probably us. But if you take us out of the corner, it might work, you know?
Okay, then I will take you out of the corner so you can work. Okay. What advice would you give to someone starting their career as a hardstyle DJ or producer?
Stefano, maybe start.
Just don't give up. Do it step by step and have some fun. That's the most important, doing it, you know?
Yeah, and don't give up.
Yeah. And I would say, like, I will double that. Like, I do streams once a week, and I give a lot of, like, people starting production on my stream. And the advice I give most of the time is, like, just enjoy what you're making, because if you want to last on the long run, you have to enjoy what you're doing. Yeah. Because if you do not enjoy what you're doing, you're just there like, yeah, I need some money, I need to make money out of music. You'll just give up in a matter of like 1 year or 2 years. And as Stefano said, like step by step is the most important part. You'll not get like top of the scene in an instant. It takes time, it takes years to like, also there are things that you can rush. Basically you can rush like sound design and all that because you can buy packs and stuff. But you cannot like rush training your ears. It takes time, it takes years. So you cannot rush everything. Just step by step. Try to make the next track better than the previous one. That's all.
What is your opinion on the evolution of hardstyle over the years?
That's a tough question because that's where people will start to, hate us. I would say what I truly think. We're probably on one of the best spot at the moment, in my opinion. And I've been in hardstyle since like 2007. So I've been a lot of things going on and stuff. There are a lot of trends that have been coming and going. But to me, we are at the same spot that we were in a way when I started listening to hardstyle, which is we have like some very big artists with very specific sounds that only them can make. And we have very nice melodies, powerful melodies with good kicks that really fits with the overall atmosphere of the track, which is what we had also when I started listening to hardstyle. So yeah, we're probably, in my opinion, in one of the best spots we've been like in years probably.
Okay. For you, Stefano?
Yeah, I like how it's right now,
Yeah.
because in the past there was some good, some bad evolutions that changed the art style. But right now, I feel like it's more open-minded. There is a mix of every genre of art style in it. There is for every taste. So I think right now with it, it's good.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I don't have that many experience because I actually got into hardstyle 8 years ago for the first time. But like, when I started listening to it like really deep and only hardstyle was like 5 years ago when I arrived in Spain. That was when I was like, oh my God, I really love this kind of music and it's now my passion. So I haven't seen that much. I mean, there has been an evolution, I can tell, because actually when I started listening to hardstyle, it was mostly euphoric, or at least that's what it actually was mostly euphoric.
It was the end of it, but it was...
Yeah, 2018 was a lot of euphoric, which was what got me into hardstyle. But now I actually like more raw, probably. Raw is probably my main genre right now.
Actually, 2018, because we had the same thing with Stefano. Before we started Aria, we both quit hardstyle at the same time for the same reason, without like saying, yeah, I will stop, and do you stop also? Just at the same time, we decided, okay, no, that's not for us. End of the story. Because we were like, there was that very specific kind of raw sound that was coming in 2016, 17. Yeah. Like all the kicks were really weird and all that. And we were like, not for us. Bye. And just 2 years later, we came back and we're like, ooh, that sounds nice again. Nice. So hello again. No, we just basically did some other genres, both on our own ways, and then we came back. Like, we just went at a party where some friends were playing, like the Techno Parade in Paris, and it was like we just looked at each other like, we come back, yeah, okay, yeah. Do we do it as a duo? Yes, okay, thanks. See you tomorrow at the studio, and we start.
And then you started. Awesome.
But yeah, the evolution of the scene has been like ups and downs every time. Like people saying like hardstyle from 2012 to 2016 was like the big euphoric hardstyle, and people were like hating that at some point. That's why we had like this very like rougher sound coming in. And if you just check out the sound right now, you have the softest melody with the hardest kick ever. So
yeah. It's like a combination. Yes. Yeah.
That's why people call what we have right now euphoric.
Yeah.
Basically hardstyle, because hardstyle have been melodies and kicks all along. So
yeah, that's true. And okay, so how do you see the future of hardstyle? How do you think it's gonna be?
More popular, because when you see DJs like Hardwell or Timmy Trumpet playing hardstyle,
playing activation,
then collabing too with hardstyle DJs.
Yeah,
I think it will be more and more popular.
Yeah, actually, that's quite impressive. I was at Tomorrowland this year, and I think that every DJ that was at the main stage ended their set with hardstyle. It was unbelievable. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? It was amazing, because for me, it's like, wow, it's really getting really mainstream. And I like that, because that means that we're going to have more hardstyle everywhere. For example, in Mexico, no one, well, it's starting to get a little bit known right now because some artists are trying to make events there. Actually, Vertile was there like 3 weeks ago, a week before I saw him. He was in Mexico City, but it was just him. Like it was an event that another DJ created just to bring him there. Yeah. So I mean, looking at these festivals and watching all these DJs ending their sets with hardstyle is really awesome.
Yeah. And I think it's also, I'm pretty sure that some of the old sounds that we had back in the days will come back.
Yeah.
Like we had gated kicks coming back. We have some like kind of melodies that we are coming back also. Maybe we'll have some trends that were going on like 10 years ago that will come back, I'm pretty sure. And it will be just funny to see how it will turn out.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. It's always interesting. Like you never get bored with hardstyle. There is always something new coming in, like every year or every 2 years or something.
Yeah, and actually, what I love is that it keeps evolving, and I mean, sometimes maybe, as you said, like if it's changing, and maybe you will say like at some point, oh, I'm not liking what's getting out right now, but at some point, you will like it again, and you will probably just fall in love and say, oh my god, right now it's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. What inspires you beyond music in your daily life?
Yeah, Stefano.
Go on, John.
Yeah, personally.
It's like I watch movies, the music, and I travel a lot too. Sorry, there is some French words, but yeah, I don't know what to say.
Okay, so you like to travel a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I love traveling. That's probably my favorite thing in the world.
There is nothing bad.
Yes.
My side,
And
like,
Richard?
not really a big traveler. I did not travel much in my life, but I'm like outside of music. I like to like watch documentaries a lot. Like,
Okay.
mainly about space and the future and AI and evolution of humans and all that kind of stuff, like the future evolution of humans. I'm more into that kind of stuff, and if not, like playing video games, like any good old guy, you know.
Okay, so which ones are your favorite video games?
At the moment, I'm playing FIFA because it just came out, and I'm playing with a friend online. So
Nice.
just like break some controllers, play that game.
Actually, the problem, I love FIFA, but the problem is that you can actually just play it with friends. And I don't know why, but playing online, it's good. But I enjoy it more playing with a friend next to me.
Yeah, I see.
You can shout at them and yell and get really angry.
I can get really angry through the microphone, trust me, because my friend will kill me sometimes. Because we play like 2v2, so it's like if you do not make the right pass at the right time, we're on.
No.
But beside that, like my favorite games of the last couple of years probably would be Cyberpunk, just because of the overall vibe of the game. Even if it's not like the best game for many people, the way it turned out, the city and all that, I really love that vibe a lot. So yeah, I would probably say this one.
And Stefano, do you play video games or not?
Yeah, but I play a lot of Call of Duty.
Oh, nice.
Warzone.
So shooters.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, guys. So last 2 questions. So how would you like to be remembered in the hardstyle scene?
Let's just say like be remembered as artists that just like gave a nice musical journey, because that's what we start making our track from. You know, we want to create a nice journey for like the next 3 minutes. You're taken on a journey. So if you can be remembered for that, I'm good.
I can say that I feel that with a lot of your songs. I actually, when I listen to some of them, I think about like, do you know, music for a movie, like cinema music? I don't know, like kind of an epic journey, something like that. Some songs actually make me feel like that.
There's a lot.
Okay, and last question. What does hardstyle mean to you?
I know, can go first, maybe.
I think if everything, it's like the half of my life. I listen to this, I have some good old and good bad memories. And when I listen to this, don't say that. Sorry.
No, don't worry.
I can't. I don't. I lost my word.
That's how your feelings are for hardstyle. I know. You lose your, And you, Jordan?
Yeah, to me, I know it's cliche to say like, yeah, hardstyle is everything to me, but I would give some precise example. Like I can tell you precisely, like the first time I listened to some of the tracks that were released and exactly what I was doing at that time. That's how much it has impacted me. If it wasn't for hardstyle, I would probably still not be in music production. I wouldn't know some of my best friends at the moment. I wouldn't be here on this podcast, basically. And yeah, it's since I started music production and since I started with hardstyle, it's like everything in my life have been made kind of around that. Like the first thing I do is like back in the day was going to school, now it's working. And then whenever I come home is open FL Studio and start producing and making hardstyle. And then if I have some time left, I will do something else. That's kind of the way it goes. So my whole life goes around hardstyle in a way or another. So cannot say anything else. I know it's cliche, but it's actually what it is. It's like whenever I do something, it has to.
It is cliche, but still, I actually think the same. Like for me, it actually become, as I just told you, I always was thinking, and how can I get into the industry? How can I get into hardstyle? Because it means so much to me. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but it has also brought one of my best friends that I met them at a festival in Croatia. I don't know, it's something that I cannot explain, like, but it means most, like, a lot to me. I don't know how to explain it. It's amazing.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's actually difficult.
It's difficult, but it's like, and whenever you say it's everything, that it's like, yeah, it's so cliche, but yeah,
but yeah,
if you're really into that music, if you're really into that scene, you're like, there are so many stuff you can do around it. You can meet some very nice people, and I know a lot of people that just like basically all of their friends are like people they met through hardstyle at some point, like because they met each other at festivals and they then discuss, or as it's the case for me, people that I met through production, and there's always something that links you back to it at some point, if not everything is linked back to it. Yeah, if you're like really into it. So,
and also like everyone that listens to hardstyle, it's like very how do you say it? Very giving, very like when I go to an event, you can see and feel the vibe of everyone there, just like I haven't seen in any other kind of music. Like even if you go to an EDM festival, you're not gonna see all the people with all these feelings and emotions at the same time. I don't know, I have never seen this happen before until I got into hardstyle. So everyone is like very I don't remember the word, but like very emotional about it. Yeah. And that's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, it's one of the unique genres that give you this feeling,
Yes. And I think that it's because it's hard and not a lot of people like it. Like, and if you like it, it's like you are a die-hard fan. It's not just like, yeah, I can listen to some hardstyle and then I'm gonna listen to some pop music and then some rock. It's like, no, you become a really hardstyle addict.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much. I really enjoyed talking to you. You are the best. You have to try get some bookings, please. I will try to bring you to Spain. I will see how. But actually, it would be awesome. Jordan, Stefano, really, thank you a lot. It was awesome. And I hope to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for having us. It was really nice.
Okay, everyone, thank you for listening. I hope that this was enjoyable with my not so good English, but I hope that you enjoyed it.
Mine is better.